Hello, Aries, and welcome to your weekly tarot forecast for this week of November 2nd. Guys, we just had that amazing full moon on Halloween for those who celebrate. And just the energies have been quite intense. So if you guys are a little emotional, and when I say emotional, it doesn't always have to be crying. It can be stress, insecurity. It can be anything that we've been suppressing recently coming to the surface to be cleared out. You're not alone. Now, I know sometimes when this happens, we do attempt to seek that healing outside ourselves. We look for validation. But if I may, you might find more success by taking a second, put 10 minutes on the timer, sit down, breathe, and just feel into it. Because that's the only way for it to really come up. It's trying to give a message, not trying to make us feel uncomfortable. But I just want to give that a little bit of insight. Now, this is for Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So please be sure to check all three. And if you're unsure what your sign is, there's a free calculator down below. And guys, with these energies too, make sure you're cleansing and clearing as best you can. You know, the veil is always really thin right now. So sometimes we pick up on a lot of energies that are not our own and we feel like it is. So we feel a little bit more bipolar, a little bit more unsteady. So just take that time. All right, Aries, let's jump on into it. Let's see what this week holds for you guys. And again, this is a general reading, so check all three of those signs. And then, just so you know, if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for watching. If you would like to support, please subscribe below. Otherwise, ground out and enjoy. Okay, guys, let's see what this week holds for you. Guidance for this week. Okay, really quickly, I'm just gonna get clarity really quickly here. Okay, guys, we have the Page of Swords, the Two of Cups, the Emperor, the Star. We have the Justice card. The Clarity card is the Queen of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and the Hangman. You know, guys, starting right out with the Page of Swords, with the Two of Cups, this can be some really blunt conversations that we can be having in our relationships. The Two of Cups tends to represent a soulmate relationship. Can it be romantic? Yes, absolutely. It could also be someone who's really close to you, and maybe there needs to be just some really open and honest and maybe a little challenging information. That doesn't mean it's bad. It means that some things that are there really need to come to the surface in order to have that deeper relationship, that transparency. Because the Two of Cups, while it is about two people who genuinely love and are dedicated to one another, it's also about positive conflict resolution. So Aries, that's my moon, so I am not preaching, but if anybody in your life, your romantic partner, your best friend, someone who's close to you, just says it straight up, recognize that number one, Aries, we're the kind of people who say things straight up to cut direct. However, when it's switched around, try not to take offense to it. Try to see the truth in it. Try to see like, okay, this is an area for improvement. We have the Emperor and the Star, and the universe is saying these things, these little bumps, these realizations are things that you can handle, things that can actually have a really healthy and happy outcome, but you have to take control. When you have the Emperor that's saying you need to take charge of the situation, you need to be the one who makes the plans to change things up. Now, the Star is a beautiful card. It's about a dream come true after a difficult situation. What I'm seeing here, Aries, is an opportunity to change patterns, to change approaches, to see things differently. And when we say things differently, sometimes how we approach things changes, and that's a good thing. I'm going to get some clarity for you on this Emperor card to see how they want you to take charge here. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's too many. The Magician. We have five major arcanas here, and I'll show you the rest of the cards. But this is about making the life that you want, new beginnings. I think this is something, Aries, that you recognize in yourself. For instance, if you know that you're somebody who catastrophizes or is more reactive, this is an opportunity for you to take constructive criticism in order to really benefit yourself. This is not changing for other people. You recognize this in yourself. You see it. I see it in myself too. And we're kind of like, you know what? I want a different story. I don't want the same old arguments or the same old fights or the same old circumstances or experiences. I want to feel peace and happiness and love. And the universe is saying, you're not a victim to your emotions. You got to take control, because we elicit the emotions from ourselves. So take control of this and see how you might want to create a new outcome for yourself. We have the Justice card and the Four of Swords. The Clarity card is the Queen of Swords. The Justice card is, while it can be about court systems, so if any of you Aries are currently any legal battles, this is a good sign for things to come and how it's going to come about. The Four of Swords is really asking you to think twice, speak once. That's teaching you not to be reactive. Sorry, my palm is itching. That means money's coming. You guys ever do that? And that's where we're taught. So this week is all about really sitting with what's coming up, sitting with some honesty with yourself, sitting with honesty from other people, sleeping on it, meditating on it. Like I said in the beginning of this video, taking time to sit and be with it, because it's giving you an opportunity to see things different, act different, and therefore create, manifest, like the magician, successful new outcomes, happier new outcomes. And the way you're going to do this, Aries, when you have the Queen of Swords, is by being more logical than emotional. Let me give you an example. If someone has a blunt truth, maybe some challenge, like, hey, you know, you're always like, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I see. Instead of being like, no, it's not, I'm only doing this because of that. That's reactive, not responsive. Let's be silent for a second and be like, all right, let's be logical. They said that this is the truth I got. They have more than enough evidence to back it up. So logic would state that it's truth. It doesn't matter what opinions are. The Queen of Swords is someone who's very career driven, but she's also driven by logic. If 1 + 1 = 2, that's it. And she doesn't take things personally. Business is business, really. And logic is really great to heal and help ourselves and our relationships. For instance, if you recognize that things are coming up for you, maybe you have trust issues, or maybe you have a issue being vulnerable. I'm just giving examples here. You have to be logical. If there's imbalance in your relationships, the universe is giving you an opportunity to balance them out. You might say, has this person or this situation ever given me reason not to trust them? If the answer is no, then logic states that what you're feeling is probably fear. Or if you're like, I'm afraid to be vulnerable because I don't want someone to use it against me. Logic would state, has this person or circumstance ever done anything to make you feel unsafe? You might say, no, not really. Logic states it's okay then. I hope I'm making sense here for you guys. Now we have the 10 of Wands and the Hangman. Whatever the situation that's arising for you to clear and to switch, it's actually an answer to your prayers, Aries. 10 of Wands shows that this kind of behavior or pattern causes you a lot of stress. When we have the 10 of Wands, it's a very stressful card. We're overworked, we feel overwhelmed, we're trying to do too many things at once to please other people, or put on a persona. And you might have to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Use logic. How can I deconstruct this? And how can I construct a healthier, a belief set or idea or approach? The Hangman is all about seeing things from a different perspective, so that they're saying pause, pause, pause. The Four of Swords is saying pause, pause, pause. Hold up. Let's meditate on this. Let's think about this. Let's flip things around. Let's play devil's advocate here, because there's a better way to go about the situation. And it is going to require you to be different. It is going to require you to step out of your comfort zone. But that's exactly where your blessings and your healing and your peace and your happiness lie. So before you put on anybody else, before you react, before you project, sit with it, because this is a ripe week for changes. We just had that full moon, which is the culmination of cycles. The universe is saying, let's wrap this up. You want that healthy friendship, relationship, whatever this is for you. There's something inside of us that we're trying to no longer perpetuate, and the universe is giving an opportunity to do that. I hope this serves you, Aries. If you like a more in-depth tarot session, a soul reading, a healing session, my links are down below. Otherwise, have a beautiful week, and I will see you next week for next week's readings.